Today we're going to talk about dividing integers. I can divide integers using the division rules, so don't forget to put this into your table of contents. Think about this. Have you ever thought about what happens if we divide by 0? Or what about if 0 is divided by a number? So 0 divided by 5 is just 0. That means if I had 0 cookies and I was dividing those cookies by 5 people, everyone would get 0 cookies because I started with 0. Now 5 divided by 0, we're going to write undefined. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on your calculator what that means. So if you had a calculator and you did 5 divided by 0 and you press enter, you're going to get an error message or undefined. What that means is you cannot do it. It's not possible. Okay, so let's come down here to our division rules. What is a positive divided by a positive? So let's say you had a positive. So here's 12 divided by 3. Both of these are positive. Your answer is going to be positive. Okay, so 12 divided by 3 is 4. So let's do the next one. What is a positive divided by a negative? 12 is positive, 3 is negative, it's a negative 3, so 12 divided by negative 3. 12 divided by negative 3. Remember, this bar here is a division symbol as well. The fraction bar stands as division. So if you had a positive divided by a negative, your answer is going to be negative. So 12 divided by negative 3 is now negative 4. So let's do the next one. A negative divided by a positive. A negative divided by a positive. If you have this one, it is going to be negative. So negative 12 divided by 3 is a negative 4. Now the last one, a negative divided by a negative. A negative 12 divided by a negative 3. Your answer is going to be positive. Now let's talk about what that is. Or let's do this one first. A negative divided by a negative. We just said it's going to be positive, so the answer is going to be a positive 4. I hope you remember from yesterday, we had our multiplication rules. And on here we talked about what it means. Odd numbers, so 1 negative or 3 negatives, end up being negative as their answer. But positive numbers, or sorry, even numbers, so the 0, the 2, the 4, your answer was positive. It's the same thing today. Okay, so let's talk about your practice page that you're going to try on your own now. You've got 8 problems. And let's see, anything kind of strange that we need to talk about? Nope, you should be fine on these. Just keep in mind though that, let's see, let's actually look at a couple of these. They're going to be kind of strange because they will not work perfectly. Actually, this whole side is going to be kind of odd. They're not going to be whole numbers. This side will be whole numbers. But this side, you're going to have to do some fractions, kind of. So remember we talked about this. This is your numerator, and this is your denominator. So 6 divided by negative 12. Okay, so that's how you would write that. We can simplify this, though. 6 and 12 can both be divided by 2 because they're both even. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 12 divided by 2 is 6. Okay, now I think I could divide it again, actually. I could have done a bigger number over here, couldn't I? That's okay. I wanted to show you this on purpose because sometimes it's easier for people to say, oh, look, I see even numbers, so I can divide them both by 2. But sometimes once you simplify them, you realize, hey, wait a minute, I could simplify them again, and that's okay. So let's simplify them again. What can I divide both 3 and 6 by? Well, I can divide them both by 3. So my answer here is going to be a negative 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So a negative 1/2. Let's look at number 8 together. Let's try this one. Actually, let's just do a simple one right now and make sure that we're okay here. 8 divided by 4. So I see one negative and one positive. It's an odd number, which means it's going to be negative, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that's all you had to do, and you're going to do that for all the rest of these, okay? Let's come back over here. Let's do number 8 together. I'm going to rewrite it as a fraction to help me out. Because really, this one's a fraction too. Negative 8 divided by 4. It's the same as saying negative 2. All right, so 4 goes into 8 2 times. It's all fractions. It's just written different ways as a division problem with the symbol between it. So negative 25 divided by negative 15. Well, first off, I see 2 negatives, which tells me my answer is going to be positive because 2 negatives is an even number of negatives. 2 is an even number, 2 negatives. So I'm going to rewrite it as a negative 25 divided by a negative 15. I notice that I have an improper fraction. Well, let's turn it into a mixed number. If I put 15 into 25, or I took those 15 away from 25, I could do it one time. And then, how many would I have left? Well, if I did 25 minus 15, I'd still have 10 left. So I could do 10 over 15. And now look, I got rid of the negative because it needs to be positive because 2 negatives equals a positive. I think I can simplify this actually. So 1, and I could divide 10 and 15 by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So my answer is 1 2/3. So you go ahead and try the other 3 on your own. Sorry, the other 5 on your own.